Hi everyone, I am Sukriti Delhi and I am your mindset and manifestation coach. This channel talks about spirituality, healing, law of attraction, law of assumption, manifestation, and a lot more. Every week I come up with a video that is on personal development, law of attraction, law of assumption, which helps you manifest your dream life. Today I'm going to talk about anxiety. Before becoming a life coach, I went through a major anxiety. And yes, that is the reason I turned into a life coach and decided to help a lot of people heal and become their best self. I want to make it really clear that anxiety is not an overnight emotion. It is a result of the accumulated emotions of years, particularly because we don't express ourselves. While I was going through this phase, I learned a lot of things about anxiety and why it happened, how I overcame it, which I'm going to talk about. So, watch this video till the end. So, back in 2019, I was going through major anxiety and I started detecting the symptoms in 2018 itself. I want to tell you that when you go through anxiety, you are not in your own control. Your emotions controls you, and your emotions are the results of the thoughts that you keep thinking about yourself or in your mind. I was going through anxiety because I had unexpressed emotions, unexpressed experiences from last probably 16 to 18 years, which I kept to myself. I didn't have any strong confidant in my life whom I could speak to. I always had this fear in my mind that if I will talk to my family, what will they think about me? They are going to judge me, they are going to penalize me for the things I didn't do, and a lot more things. I came to a place where none of my relationships were working fine. Everything was slipping away from my hands, and I felt like what was my fault. We all come to that place where we start questioning our own self, that we did everything right, then what was wrong? What went wrong that brought us to this place? I also did all those questions, but when I overcame that anxiety period, when I overcame all those things, I came to the conclusion that it was all because of my spiritual growth. So, if you are somebody who is going through this anxiety phase, know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, that there were a lot many bad experiences in my life which I did not discuss with anybody out of fear, out of the fear of judgment, out of the fear of being misunderstood. I didn't do that, and I kept becoming my own doctor, and I was the only patient I was treating. So I was playing two roles at the same time. I was my own doctor and I was the patient that I had to treat. And it was really, really difficult to become your own doctor as well as the patient itself. While in 2019 it was way too out of my control, I couldn't sit while I was sitting to work. A lot of thoughts were going on in my mind, and even if I could do something to control them, I couldn't do it because everything was out of my control. My emotions were controlling me, and I was not in a place to control my emotions because I was continuously thinking about what is something that I did wrong. I was questioning myself, I was doubting myself, I was not confident that I did my best in all the relationships, in all the career, in everything that I did all these years. So as I said, that it's really difficult to put that feeling into words. So if you have somebody who is going through anxiety around you, don't tell them that things will be better, it is going to be fine. No, at that point, if somebody is coming to you, they are looking for a solution from you because they themselves are not in a place to give themselves a solution. Like, I also tried talking to a few of my friends, but unfortunately they did not understand what I was going through because I had created an image in front of them that I am a strong person and I handle all the situations. It brought me much more difficulty to open up and to talk to people around me about. So I came to a lot of conclusions. There were a lot of points that came in my conclusion that, first of all, don't always project yourself in front of people as you are a strong person. It's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to tell people that yes, we are human, things does hurt us. We have this habit as we come to adulthood. We have this habit of not expressing our emotions and keeping them to ourselves, which eventually harms us. So I also did all these mistakes. I did not express. Whenever in my friend circle, whenever in my family something had hurted me, I used to keep that within me. I never used to address it with them that this is something which is hurting me and don't do it because it's making me feel bad about myself. And because of that, I let bad things happen to me. I did not create strong boundaries. I always had this in my mind that one day these people who are hurting me will understand it and they will stop doing it. But unfortunately, I had to learn the lesson that people will not stop doing it because they are unaware. Whenever somebody says something bad to somebody else, they are not saying it with some intentions to hurt somebody, but they are completely operating from a point of unawareness, and we have to make them aware that what is right and what is wrong for ourselves, what is acceptable to us and what is not. Instead of giving a vague solution to myself that yes, things are going to be fine, I took charge and I decided that no, this is not the kind of life that I want to live. I don't want to feel this way. And that is when I started my journey towards healing. I decided to read a lot of books and to do everything which makes me happy. While previously I used to channelize my energy in making my career, this time it was really difficult because I had already started making my career, already things were going fine in my career, yet I was not happy. So it's really important that you keep balance in every area of your life and you validate your own emotions. It's okay to cry, it's okay to feel vulnerable, it's okay to feel weak some days, because if you will not experience these emotions, you will never understand what strength is, what overcoming some challenges in your life feel like. So I decided that I want to address each and every emotion rather than resisting to feel that ways, rather than resisting that I don't want to feel hurt, I don't want to cry, I don't want to look as if I'm a weak person. I decided to experience those emotions. And when I decided to do that, when I decided to stop resisting these emotions, that is when I started healing my own self. I became patient with my own self. And of course, the journey was not an overnight healing. It took me 3 years to come to this place and talk about it. And I want you to be patient with your own self. With this, I also learned that it is really important to create boundaries even with those people we love. It's okay to love people around you, but first fill your own self with love. Be clear about what are your core values and do not let anybody play with those values, no matter who that person is. If that person is playing with your values, be strong enough to address it in front of them that this is something which is not right, I'm not feeling good about it, please change it. If they are still not doing it, you will be at least at a place where you will accept it that yes, the other person is not ready to change, but you will not let it affect you. With this experience, I also learned that it's okay to express ourselves. If we express ourselves when we are feeling happy, we can also express ourselves when we are feeling low. We are all spiritual beings having human emotions. This line, when I read during my spiritual journey, when I was healing, it stuck with me. yes, we all are good at some level. We all are one at particular level. We all think alike that yes, we have to think positive. We should not speak negative about somebody, but in our unawareness, we do things. So it's okay to say sorry when you know that you have done something wrong in your unawareness, and at the same time, it's really really important to validate your own emotions. Validate your negative emotions as much as you validate your positive emotions. Don't spread this message of toxic positivity that yes, you are the person who is always positive. I did that mistake during my first 18 years of my life, or probably 23 years of my life. Don't do this mistake. It's okay to tell people that they are doing wrong with you. It's okay to tell people that something is not going right. And it's okay to talk about what you are feeling. When we keep those feelings to ourselves, we don't know how to release them. If you have a best friend with you who does not judge you, who listens to you, who lets you be vulnerable, that's the most brilliant blessing you have in your life. But if in case you don't have any friends, like I didn't have any friend, because I don't blame others, I always have these fears inside me, and I never let it out that things are hurting me. I was always there for my friends during their lows, because I could feel how does it feel when somebody is going through low phase and they don't have anybody to listen to. But unfortunately, when I looked back at them, it was my own mistake, because I had projected that I am a strong person, and they just start looking at me the way I was looking at myself. So it was my other mistake that I never expressed my emotions. Third thing, when you don't express your emotions, you don't create your boundaries. It is very important to create your boundaries and protect your own energy. In 2017 and 18, I was trying to help my friends who were going through a lot of relationship issues themselves, and being a good person, I had been there. I did not track if it's a day or a night, what time is it. I was always available for them, and when I was available for them, I became a part of their problems, as in their problems became my problem, and I couldn't protect my energy. So I actually dealt with two problems at a time, my own problem and their problem. So whenever they used to come to me, I used to be there. I used to forget about my own problems, and I used to help. I used to try to help them during that time. I did not protect my energy, and that is why it took me to the place where I actually started having panic attacks, because I could not differentiate, my subconscious mind could not differentiate between my own problems and the problems that somebody else is going through. So third thing that I have learned is always protect your energy, because if you are not emotionally stable, you can never help anybody, and their problems will also become a part of your life, and you will suffer even more. When I started my life coaching journey, this was one of my core values, that I am going to help people, but I am not going to let them infringe the boundaries that I create for myself and for them. I was very clear that I will not drain my energy when I want to help people. And as a life coach, it is very, very important, because you every day listen to somebody's story which is not a happy story. It is very important to protect your own energy if you want to help somebody else. While I was trying to help my own friends, it came to a place where I became the villain, because I started becoming attached to them. I started having expectations from them, and when those expectations were not met, I was projected as somebody who has done wrong to them. And it again took me to the place to question my own self, that I was good with everybody, why did it happen with me? The only answer to this was I did not protect my energy. I was always available to them, and they actually took away on my energy and drained me in return of that. Since that day, I made it a point that whosoever I will help, I'll make sure that I am helping them without expecting anything from them. At the same time, I am not becoming a part of their own problems. I'm not making their own problems my own. Of course, this change was not an overnight thing. I again had to remind myself that, this is a mistake that you're still doing. I had to go through a lot of reminders for myself that, this is something that you have to change about yourself. I remember I had this argument with one of my closest friends in 2019. I don't talk to that friend any longer, but this friend of mine was going through his own relationship problems since 2017, and I was an active part of his life during that phase because he reached out to me. He used to speak what is bothering him, and I used to help him. I was always available for him, and that day we had an argument, and in the anger I said that I'm gonna tell everybody what he has done to me. And out of his insecurity, out of his fears, he called one of our mutual friends who didn't know anything about his personal life and my personal life, and he took me on the conference call because by that time I had blocked him, and he said it in front of her that I was responsible for all the problems in his life, for all the for the breakup that he had with his girlfriend, while I was not a part of his life when he had breakup. I came into the picture when he had breakup, and I was just trying to help him. This broke me. This actually shattered my soul in pieces, and since that day I decided that I don't want to feel shitty about myself for helping somebody, for making a difference in somebody's life. I am the most beautiful soul. I have done my best, and since that day I decided to heal myself completely. I went to no contact with that person. That person contacted me on my birthday, decided to give me surprise, but then I made it very clear. I cleared the boundaries that I am not gonna accept this person back in my life. I forgive this person, but I am going to create a strong boundaries wherein nobody can come into my life and make me feel like a shit. And since that day, I started my healing journey. And when I came on my healing journey, I learned a lot of mistakes that I myself had done. One of them being not creating strong boundaries because I didn't know my core values. I was helping everybody who was coming to me without even knowing that I am emptying myself. So I decided that whenever I will help somebody, I will only help when I am full, when I am not going through something which is causing problem in my life. Second thing, I decided that I will be very clear about how I feel when something wrong happens in my life, which includes my family, friends, or anybody. If something is not going according to my core values, I will address it politely, of course, but I will definitely address it. Third, I am still going to help people, but if in case they are not going to reciprocate to my energy, I'm not gonna stay in their life. These are my core values, and this is something that I learned slowly and steadily. I started applying it in my life, and today I have healed myself, because if I'm talking to you without crying, without having any tears, this is the biggest significance that I have healed myself, and I'm proud of it. My message to you is, if you are somebody who's going through anxiety, I want to tell you that this is not something related to what has happened in your recent past. It stems from those experiences where you had started feeling bad about yourself, where you had started not expressing your emotions and started keeping it to yourself. It stems from those experiences. Go back to those experiences, forgive yourself, and validate your emotions, and understand that yes, you were hurt, you were disappointed, you were taken advantage of. Then work on your core values. What are your core values? And no matter who that other person is, if they are not meeting those core values, you will not get affected. You will not think twice to move away from those trainers. The things that I did to overcome my anxieties: I started reading books, I started being protective about my energy, I started focusing on what kind of things makes me happy, and here I am. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and do share it. It is my humble request to you. You never know whom you are helping indirectly. Please do share this. Thank you so much. I will come back with a lot more videos. If you like the content, do subscribe.